specifications and things like that. Now, just to give you a piece of information, sir, the DMA had formed a committee 1 year back to form the technical specifications for going in for implementation of energy efficiency projects in street lighting. So the technical committee consisted of, I think, KUDFC, I think Terry, one of the reputed energy audit companies, was also involved in that. Then CMAC was involved in that. So I think there was a small committee which was formed, which evaluated all the technologies, framed a guideline, and circulated it to all the municipalities. So I think that step has already been taken on. But however, once the energy audit of these 215 municipalities is completed, I think the government can also repeat this exercise and see, based on recommendations given, what is the best available technology and recommendation to package to suit the municipality. So I think that step is already being taken up by the government. I think it might be repeated again. Now the second question is for that lady. There is a slight misconception. Just to give you an example, and supposing this 100 rupees is saved by the municipality, okay? An example ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ 100 rupees ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ 100 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಶೇರಿಂಗು. ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಫುಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಎಸ್ಕೋ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಆ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. 70% of that 100 rupees, 70 rupees goes towards equipment repayment. 15 rupees goes towards as a benefit to the municipality. 15 rupees is retained by the ESCO company. Okay, so it is not that the 100 rupees is taken by the ESCO company. This is one typical example. It can vary based on the bidding and all those things. 70, 15 and 15. 70 rupees goes towards equipment cost repayment. 15 rupees out of the energy savings goes to the municipality. 15 rupees goes to the ESCO company. So because the ESCO is putting in so much risk and so much efforts and into the project, he is getting almost an equal share of what the municipality is getting without taking any risk by the municipality. So this is a typical structure for sharing. So I think that answers your question. It is not that. And just to give you an example, if 700 rupees is the investment put in by the municipality, by the ESCO company, okay, and every month 70 rupees is going towards equipment cost repayment. So in how many months is the amount recovered? 10 months. Exactly 10th month, the ESCO company will transfer the equipment to you free of cost. After that, the full 100 rupees savings will come to you.
Okay. For a consultant have no personal interest or company-wide interest in promoting ESCO. This is just an arrangement, as the Honorable Chairman mentioned. What is the harm in experimenting with the new arrangement? This is a public-private partnership model, where the public, which means the government itself, is an important stakeholder. Now they come, invest their money, takes the share, takes the profit. In this process, the ULBs or the municipalities are also benefited. You see during this concession period of 6 years or up to 10 years, how this is being managed. I mean, the government can also have some kind of a capacity building program for these ULBs. Let me also tell you, in case of Andhra Pradesh, nobody touched upon this issue yesterday, I'm sure, and today also we also did not touch upon this. What happens to the employees who are maintaining these lightings, who are maintaining these equipments, who are looking after the maintenance? One of the clause we have put that ESCOs will have to take these employees. They will continue. This has been a problem in one of the municipalities, to name it Vijayawada. So one of the conditions we have put is that, it is a responsibility of ESCO to train. If they are not skilled, let them get this training and get skilled. So they will continue. So in no way this system is going to be disturbed, but the focus is to make it more efficient in a holistic manner. And as he mentioned, Nalin mentioned that after the concession period, the entire thing goes back to ULB. It remains your property, and then you continue with the profit. Another thing, from the municipality's point of view, see, all these equipments have a lifetime, 10,000 running hours, or depending on the equipments. We as a consultant will make sure that these ESCOs would not leave this just before this lifetime gets over, so that it becomes an immediate burden on the municipality to change over these equipments. See, these are the nitty-gritties. Once you get into this, then you will realize that there are many minor points on which you can safeguard your interest, municipality's interest, ULB's interest. Sir, your point that there are different options, different scenarios. I put forward 6 scenarios. It is extremely timely and most valid concern that there are different ESCOs promoting their own concepts, their own things. It is the responsibility of the state government. I mean, Honorable Chairman heads that organization to look that the most feasible, most technically feasible and economically viable, most energy efficient option is being implemented. That's what we are trying to do it in the state of Andhra Pradesh. 6 scenario, which is probably slightly more costly, but at the same time most manageable, most energy efficient option, which the ESCOs will have to obey. It's not that they can go beyond or they can only go for T5 options, for example. No, that's not allowed. So we have to identify the most feasible option, and that has to be the bidding criteria for the ESCOs.
Are a calculated saving or a metered saving? It should be made very clear whether it should be on the metered saving.
It is always should be on the metered saving.
Since we are all basing the entire discussion on our baseline consumption, I would just like to know what are the probable factors that would lead to a faulty baseline consumption, fixing of that faulty baseline. What are the probable? Is it 100% absence of 100% metering, or is it fault?
Could be range for from number of light points as such, because there could be difference in what the ULBs might give and what the actual should be on the field. B, how many of these are actually working? C, the meter being faulty itself. D, the manual error in reading, which sometimes can happen. And the last is the adjustment part year after year. Now, as Mr. Nalin said, if these are on the metered basis, then probably most of these can be solved. However, in case of metered consumption, one variable which comes into picture is the hours of supply. In case of baseline, when you establish in a particular year, if the hours of supply is say are 11 hours, but next year, when you have implemented, the hours change. So it becomes 13 hours or 9 hours. So either you monitor the hours of supply in different sections of the city, because there are cuts. It's not that 13 hours on a continuous basis is supplied to the entire city. So you will have to take that portion also into account and then establish the baseline accordingly. Alternatively, what most ESCOs prefer is that they, as I mentioned earlier, they do the measurement on a sample basis and then calculate the theoretical baseline. So this, the one thing which is very important is the honesty and sense of purpose. That is the basic motto between the ESCO and the municipality. If you want to solve it, then you can have the solution from it.
ನಾನು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್. ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ಈ ಫುಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ಲು ಸುಮಾರು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು. ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ತೊಗೋತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಮೇಲೂ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಎಂಫಸಿಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಎಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇರೋ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸು. ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಫೈನ್ಲಿ ಬೆಟರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ, ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ಅದು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗೋದು, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದ್ರ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಂದು ಅದು ಆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗೋದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.